Today, a few hours ago, Moses MALULU INJENDI, the MP for Malava, was buried. I'll try to be very brief about him, covering all aspects and being very sincere. But you see, covering all aspects and being very sincere is also a challenge on being brief. I have two reasons why I was not for his death. There are two reasons why I can say that I would have wanted him to be alive, but that is God's wish. But before I say so, we in the NIS, we are encouraged to on full reports. We hate hiding information. It is possible that if someone gives you 95% of the story and hides 5% of the story, it will lead you to believe differently from what you may have believed had you gotten the whole story. Apart from technical collection of information, most of the stories are 60 to 66% accurate. It is only the technical aspects, videos and cameras and microphones are the only things that I know that produces 100%. But when I talk of 100%, I'm talking of as near to the truth as possible. Usually there are some people, you may hide one or two things, and those two are the most important than even the whole story. So it is always good to, as humanly as possible, you come up and tell the story in a simplified way. Now let us go back to the two reasons why I was not for his death. In any office, be it elective, selective, appointive, or anything of that type, I am a strong believer that you should outlive the next 3 or so officers of that. By this I mean, if you hold an office, you should leave that office alive, so that other 2 or 3 people, or even 4, occupy that office. Then you can compare your tenure with those who used to be in that office before you took over and those who were there after you took over. Now he has no capacity to evaluate the next member of parliament. That is one of the reasons why I did not want him to die. I wanted him to stay, so that when 2 or 3 more MPs are there, we can always say, in this constituency during MALULU INJENDI's time, he was better than the current MP, or he was worse than the current MP, something like that, so that even he himself witnesses it. The second issue is to do with my boy, and I will emphasize that at a later time on this recording. If you look at the constituencies that surround Malava, in all directions, be they in Western or even in Rift Valley, you will find that development, the usage of CDF is better in other constituencies than Malava. We don't have even a single school that he has constructed that is storied. So all the constituencies surrounding him have developed, especially on the field of academy. And it is a shame that him, having been previously an untrained teacher, and also previously having been a university lecturer, he is somebody whom we would have expected to very much look into the aspects of education. If you Google Malava teachers harassed by MP for exposing uh, the dilapidated buildings in the schools. In Malava, we have cases of, like, a place called Mutingongo, students studying under a mighty rock. We also have another school called Makonge, where the school, you believe it or not, is built through mud. And somebody entered that school with, nowadays everybody has a watch, and he or she took a picture of the classroom, whereby from one side you could see through the desk until the other side where there is sugarcane plantation. So if such a thing go to social media, he 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 invites that teacher to the ACDF office. The teacher thinks that maybe since this thing has gone to the social media, maybe my school is going to be looked into issues of uh, infrastructure development. But he would set youths. I'm sorry to say, the leading youth is my son. Mm. Many parents, okay, I'm a former police officer. Many parents hide their criminal sons. That is how he calls them and harasses those teachers and says, "Na hand, if I hear it again, your life is in danger." So he had reduced teachers to be so meekly. For the 12 years he had been MP, he has given out 10 or so buses, second-hand buses, school buses. Now, even if you use that is an average of one school one bus per year. Now, if you are to take even those 10 buses and constructing just one school, you see, if you continue that way, even if you construct one school a year, in 100 years, in a century, you'll have constructed 100 schools. But he did not do that. If you study his politics, if you studied his politics, he keeps a low profile for until the 11th hour. He keeps the low profile until the 11th hour, where he looks at the political chessboard. He looks at the political chessboard and makes a move. You see, for all those time, he has done nothing. But at the 11th time, he knows how to play his cards well and end up being an MP. To him, it was not about serving people of Malava and Kenya in general. To him, it was an issue of his longevity in parliament. Actually, there was even a rumor that that next election is going to contest for senatorial governorship, and he declared publicly that for as long as he's in politics, he'll just be in Malava politics. I think another thing that has contributed to him is that he comes from a clan called Vasonje. Vasonje, they are both in Kabras and Bukusu. Vasonge. Now, these people gang up behind him. And the other clans, they share among themselves. So that is how easy he reads the political weather report correctly and aligns himself for the election. Now we will talk about my personal issues with him. Because you have seen, this is somebody, he has never done anything. And yes, the road is being upgraded, the road to his place. The president has said all the projects that he has been taking, the president will undertake them. Well, that is a very easy work for the president because this fellow is not undertaking any project. So it is easy for the president to say that all the projects he had undertaken, the president will complete. But as I said, um, I want now to talk about my personal issues with him. It would be unfair for me to talk about his political failures, and then I have issues with him, and if I keep quiet on them, it would be unfair. As I said that in NIS, if you're to hide 5%, then you spoil the story. I can stop there And the stories I've said, it is completely true, and people would follow. But then there is also the aspect of my personal feeling. My boy was working at Hilton Hotel in the CBD. And then there was a problem with the Hilton Hotel whereby all employees, those who are in permanent and pensionable scheme, they reached a time when they said that everybody, under whatever work he was doing, they were to start serving under contract terms. So there was a lot of noise. I called my boy and told him, no, don't play it safe. Don't be on the forefront. Then he said that the employees had, you see, there are those employees who are approaching retirement. Now, you being told that the terms of services have been changed into contracts, you are not even sure what your retirement thing will happen. So I just told my boy, no, just play it cool, because I know that whenever there are issues and they are solved, usually the employers go to those people who are on the forefront. So just play at the back. And he told me that there was a letter written to Hilton Hotel in New York complaining about. I said, don't put your name there. Meanwhile, we were looking for another greener pasture, and we found a job at Intercontinental Hotel. We found some job at Intercontinental Hotel where my boy was employed. I don't know what happened uh, with the Hilton issue, because when your person is out, you can't follow the case as competently as you would have done. Now, during the Christmas holiday, which was of 2018, Christmas holiday of 2018, my boy, I don't know, most likely this boy takes bang. We parents, when a child has been arrested, you say, mtoto wangu nilimlea hivi na hivi, and you don't know what he or she does in the back. There's a Christmas time 2018. I hope yeah, I think it was 2018, but it was Christmas time. The boy got drunk, went to a bar, confronted 5 people. And just went to a table, found 5 people, and told them, "You see, I can beat you up." He was beaten unconscious, and he ended up at a hospital, a private hospital along Outer Ring Road. I was called, and the boy spent there one day. I was called, and the boy was unconscious. So I was called, and in the evening, and then throughout the night, these phone calls and M-Pesa. I raised money, and then the following morning I went and discharged the boy. When I discharged the boy, he had no shoes. When he was beaten, shoes got lost. Uh, and then I made a clearance with the hospital. I paid everything through the money that people I had cloud sourced. And as I told him, in Luhya tradition, you don't enter into your son's house, whether married or not, because when he's married, there is your daughter-in-law there. And if he's not married, you see, it is even worse, because uh, we have cases you can go there and then girls meet there and start fighting over your son or something like that. So it is discouraged among Luhya tradition for you to frequent your son's place. But in this case, he had been beaten, so I was to escort him from the hospital to. And as I'd cleared everything, as I said, let us leave, he said, no, Malulu Injendi is coming to clear. I mean, he's coming to visit me. That is what he said. The hospital bill was 4,000. It was 4,000 one night, of course, unless you have been hit by a vehicle or anything. But his hand was broken. His hand was broken. That was the only major thing. Actually, it was not even broken. It was dislocated, because he was not given a plaster. No, he was not given a plaster. He was just given bandages. So I escorted him. As I was supposed to escort him, I paid, I think, 4,000. And then Malulu came. When Malulu came, the boy told him he has been in the hospital for about a week. He said it had been about a week. He asked how much is it. The boy said he gave the boy cash, the money. And then he went and I escorted the boy to his house, opposite, just across Outer Ring Road. Then we went there on the day he was attacked. There are two things which happened here, and that is why I've talked about that attack in detail. One, Malulu with his evil thought, he said, if a boy can fight 5 people, then this is what I want in my militia. This is what I want in my militia. He appointed him. Actually, the boy was in charge of his militia. The boy was in charge of his militia. The boy went back after he told him he was going to employ him. He was in charge of his militia. The boy went back to what do you call Intercontinental. There was a Luhia cooperative there. He went and took a loan. Then after taking a loan, 2 to 3 days later, he went to the office and resigned and left Nairobi. Went to become a heckler at the pay of MALULU INJENDI. That is how he ended up. Imagine somebody working at Intercontinental of all hotels, Intercontinental of all hotel. Previously having worked in Hilton, and now he was working. I don't know how much MALULU used to pay him, but up to the time even when MALULU died, the boy seemed to prefer that work to working. I don't know how, if he was properly paid or anything. But you see, as a parent, if your child is happy with the way, if your child is happy with the way he is than working there, then that is what you look for. That is what you look for. You don't pursue further. Not even a single day did he appear to be regretting having left Intercontinental. So it came to 2022 general election. Now I want you to hear this one very clearly because it may be a bit confusing, especially to somebody who is not a lawyer. It came to 2022 general election and I started receiving information. I started receiving information from people, and I reached out to the boy for authenticity. And the boy, first of all, the information I used to receive is that people are saying that when the boy was attacked by those 5 people, I never went to visit him. Actually, let me say what the people are saying that he used to say, quote exactly. He used to say that when I was attacked and left for dead, Papa unjibula and Mai unjibula, meaning the father who gave, my biological father and my biological mother avoided coming to see him. They could not even want to hear that I've been in the hospital. So people are concerned, and I approached the boy and said, is it true these things are happening? The boy told me, no, this thing is a bit complicated, that it's a bit hard to tell you. That is what he said. I told him, it is me who picked you from the hospital. It is me who paid for your hospital. And you say that is not pleasant. You know, some things, if you live a lie, you believe in a lie. I'll come to explain that. So the boy told me it's a bit complicated. You may not understand. That's what he told me. So he did not dispute the fact that he had said it. He told me that it is a bit hard for me to understand. If he explained to me, I said, okay, I don't want the explanation, but I don't want you to make me, because MALULU INJENDI is campaigning to be the MP for Malava. I am not an elect. I'm not a registered voter in Malava. I'm not a candidate there, and I don't see why he should not spend time talking about things that can assist the people of Malava. But as you see, as I said, MALULU INJENDI had no topic to tell people. Malulu was a useless person. Sorry, he's dead. He cannot answer that. But you see, when people came with side tracks, he was happy because they would spend time there. Then I took it second motive to talk to second move to talk to Malulu Injendi. I said, I'm hearing report of this, and I've also contacted the boy. Why can't you stop the boy? Talk to the boy, tell him not to make me his topic. Two, if he continues that way, when you take the microphone, tell the people that is not your feeling. Then Malulu Injendi answered me through a WhatsApp, which I still have it. He addressed to me and said, Mzazi mwenzangu, he said that there are some issues in your home which are too complicated, and I've studied that and I cannot interfere in it. I'll tell you about that, about his answer, which was sincere and straightforward. But still, I don't see why he should not have told the boy, don't make it part of my campaign. I don't know why. Well, this boy had been pursuing the mother for over about 6 months, and she used to re- be reluctant in moving over. Everybody I approached, both my bosses at my place of work, because I was assigned lighter duties. I had something on my head, so they said if they were to give me, my station was handed over to somebody else. It was handed over to somebody else so that I concentrate on marriage. So I was given that duty. And every time I went, she would just not want to move over. Uh, but people said since she was the last born girl, she was finding it hard to get married because she was feeling, I mean, most last born girls used to feel that it is bad for them to leave. If I get married, who will take care of my mother? So that is what I used to be told. Then somewhere in February, she moved over. There's a time I went home, said, where are we going? She said, I've got my bag packed. So you see, if you have been fighting over something and then it comes easy, you rush before she changes her mind. What I did not know is that she was 3 months pregnant, and 3 months pregnant. Her reluctance to get married to me was because uh, a first cousin of her father. Now these two elders were first cousins of each other, and they were staying next to each other. What can I say? They were staying 200 meters from each other. So every time she would leave the door dangerous to her parents. She would leave the door. When she hears her parents snoring, she would sneak and go and sleep in the cubicle of her second cousin. Because their fathers were first cousins, so that she was second cousin. And it is a time when she was pregnant that she felt that being identifying that cousin of hers as it. First of all, it was incest. So that's why she agreed quickly. And she came end of February, which was March, and the kid was born in the second day of September. So the kid was born 5 months after we started living together. There are these clinic cards where they write expected day of delivery. She had cheated the medical personnel to an extent that the medical personnel thought that she was still when she gave birth. The medical personnel thought that she was 7 months, and actually the midwife, a man, had checked with his patients, and we knew that on the next 10 days I'll not have any lady to deliver. So he rushed home, and that is where the day she delivered on this fellow. And then from there we went that was September. In November I went home. Surprise of all surprise, her second cousin came and claimed the kid, and he has been claiming the kid for 35 years. And it is only recent that after this incident that she called the boy and told her, yes, it is true, I was in an incestuous relationship with my second cousin. And then the boy asked her, okay, am I Huatenge's son or your cousin's? Said, no, you're Huatenge's son. Of course, she could not say the son, but I thank her. She was courageous enough to accept that the part of incest. And that is what Nani was saying in his message, which I still have in my WhatsApp, that some issues at home are too hard to handle, are too hard to handle. It needs internal, you people in the home, to know how to handle it. Me outsider, I can't. It's because he was put into the picture by the lady that there was such a thing. But then, as much as I thank Malulu Injendi for necessitating the exposure of that thing, but on an overt equation, he should have just stopped the boy from telling people that his biological parents did not go there. You see, it now even agrees. It even agrees with what the boy was saying, that his biological father, who is a second cousin to his mother, did not go to the hospital to see him. But me, surrogate father, that thing, I would say that it was good. Mm, it is good that he necessitated that, but it was also wrong. He should have stopped the boy and said that we don't deal with personal issues here. And as I said, uh, he, he used to call campaigns, but he did not have topics to say. So when people would come with such useless talks, he would let them do that so that he defrays the story. That is why I blame him. Uh, and that is why I blame him for accepting the boy to talk that thing, and then in public, and then as an adult, as a person of responsibility, he would have looked for. See, he was, before he died, he was a leader. He would have known the problem and known how to solve the problem in a win-win situation. That is what I would have believed. He should have solved that in a win-win situation, so that he can even be a good leader who has solved the problem. But then he didn't, and he enjoyed the way things were happening. Uh, it also, I am also not happy with the way he has died early, because I always prayed to God, and I sent him the message. I prayed to God and said, "Younger brother, if you have got sons and you're spoiling other people's sons, I pray to God that when your son or sons reach that age where my son is and you have spoiled, may they be spoiled and to an extent that you regret." I was cursing his children for him. Uh, his kids are slightly young and whatever. Maybe when he was still, when if he would have still, they would have even become gangsters and be shot by police when he's there. And that is what I wanted to see. I cursed and wanted him to have his son maybe be bang smokers and whatever, so that he sees that. And then I would have told him, "You spoiled my child to make him your militia. I did not spoil your child, but God has spoiled your child for me." It is just unfortunate that I still even believe it up to now. He was buried a few hours ago, but I still believe even right now that God should have granted him longer life, so that he reaches a stage. Because my kid was doing on well from school. He went to Kenya Polytechnic, undertook a course in the hospitality business, and even undertook, imagine, when he was doing his practicals, he was at Galaxon Hotel in Kenyatta Market, and then Hilton and whatever. He had a bright future, but Malulu Injendi spoiled him just like any other boys. Now I don't know how those boys are going to get employed, how they're going to do whatever, because I don't think the family can accommodate them, and I don't think the next MP, maybe the next MP will have his own list of boys to spoil. That is what I said. May you burn in hell.